Know that today is World Polio Day, the day on which Rotarians all around the world will be focusing again on their endeavours to end polio, raise money for vaccinations to end polio. Most of you will know a lot about the history of trying to eradicate polio. Rotary started the campaign in 1985, and great progress has been made with bodies like the World Health Organization, UNICEF, national governments, and we're more than 99% there. What I mean by that is that there used to be 1,000 new cases every day in 1985. It's considerably less now, and we're down to just 3 countries. It's been eradicated in 122 countries, and we're down to India was declared free earlier this year, and we're now down to Nigeria, Pakistan and Afghanistan. There is a global plan with everyone involved to complete the challenge, the task, by the end of 2018. Bristol Rotarians wish to help achieve this goal, and therefore we're fundraising, and today we are launching our Polio Mile challenge. And I'm delighted that our Mayor, George Ferguson, is here today to help us to launch this challenge, and I'll ask him to speak in a little while. I'm also delighted that we have a few other polio sufferers here today who are willing to be interviewed and perhaps tell their story. On my left I have Gordon Richardson, who is a local man from West Milton, and over there we have Paul Stanton, and is the other chap, is it Jeff? I've forgotten your second name, I'm afraid, but make yourself known later. And we also have Chris Broughton, a Rotarian, just in front of me here. Welcome, thank you very much for coming. What is the Polio Challenge? We wish to collect a mile of coins, or donations equivalent thereto. In front of you, here's an enlarged version of the coin strip. You'll see that it requires a combination, a mixture of coins to be placed on the card, which totals £2.90. Only £2.90. So not a big challenge for families and things to contemplate. But any money we raise will be trebled by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So just by filling one coin card, it will pay for 24 vaccinations, which is just incredible, and will save lives. So if we achieve a mile, that's £15,000 we collect, treble to 45,000, and we'll give vaccinations of 127,000. And what we need to do is get all children vaccinated in these endemic countries. How will we go from here? Rotary clubs will be distributing the coin cards to schools and to organisations. Also, they'll be available to be ordered on our website. The website should be up and running later today. The website address is on all our banners and on all our flyers. There are flyers on the table, cards on the table, and we hope some of you will actually buy a card today. As I say, it doesn't have to be the coins placed on the card. If you make a donation, the strip can be attributed to your good self with your name. Finally, just about the crocuses. The Rotary emblem is the purple crocus for End Polio. And today we've got 1,500 crocuses that we are going to plant on College Green. And I think most of you will know that the why the purple crocus is because every time a child is vaccinated with the drops, their little finger is painted purple to indicate that they have had the vaccination. But of course, by doing so, it identifies all those children who have not yet been covered. And everyone needs the drops. And George will honour us by planting the first crocus bulb. I must finish by saying a big thank you to our sponsors. All our sponsors are recognised on the banners and the coin strip and the flyer. Thank you to the sponsors, and also a thank you to the city gardeners who are here today to help us with the planting. The head gardener, Daya, I think perhaps she's still over there. She's waving by the tree where we're going to do our first planting. Thank you very much, Daya, and your team. May I ask you all to promote our challenge, and with all your contacts and friends, and raise lots of money for this challenge that we do sincerely want to complete the job. And as I'm talking, I see on my right in front of me is Peter Wells, who is our Rotary District Polio Eradication Officer. Peter, thank you for coming down to be with us today. So if you have more questions, please ask him rather than me. And now may I hand over to George, our Mayor.
Right. Great. Well, thank you very much. I've been busy starting to fill in my my first card, and that's as far as I can get with what I happen to have in my pocket. But I'm going to have some more, please. Now, this whole campaign means so much to me. I'm an extremely fortunate polio survivor. I limp fast, and I'm really lucky that I am not disabled by it in a real sense. And so I think of all the people that have helped in my life, because I had polio when I was 1. That completely paralyzed me down my right-hand side. My dad was in the military in Gibraltar. It wasn't unusual then, but the survival rate was relatively low, and I was fortunate, not that I would have known much, but to have survived it. And my mother took me to hydrotherapy in Bath when we moved to Wiltshire, and my first real memory, and it is a vivid memory, is being held up in the water by those nurses who made me kick. And by the time I was 4, I got out of having to wear a caliper on my right leg. And I think it's always been a challenge to me, is how I keep up, how I kept up at school and that sort of thing. So I'm one of the really lucky ones. And when you have survived something like that, it is absolutely vital, I think, that you help the people who were less fortunate. And so to have come so far is brilliant. But it is vital that we go on with that last push, because it's too easy while a disease still exists for it to crop up in other places. And so I do hope that everybody in Bristol can contribute as much as they can via the mile of coins to help eradicate. I would love Bristol and the Rotarians, thank you so much, to have played a real part in helping to eliminate polio, eradicate polio from those countries where it still exists. And the dangers are that a lot of the troubles that we get in some of the countries that are talked about only exacerbate the problem. So it is all the more vital that we concentrate on those areas in order to deal with it. And I ask you all to recognise that those of us who can walk are extremely fortunate, whether we've had polio or not, and that we should always think about those barriers that prevent people from playing a full part as citizens of Bristol. It makes me think, and sometimes I realise that there are other things that are needed to be done, but breaking down the barriers of all sorts, both the social and the physical barriers, are absolutely essential to making sure that people can play a full part as citizens of Bristol. So thank you, Rotary, for what you're doing, and I'm absolutely honoured to be involved with this campaign.
George, thank you very much for that powerful message, powerful speech. It's very moving. Can I ask you to sign our publicity banner? We've got this enlarged coin card. Perhaps you do the honours of signing it.
I can see it's going to be difficult because it's now wet. But I would be.
We have a marker pen.
Yeah.
We'll try. And while that's happening, I just mentioned that we're collecting over the next few months, and the challenge will end in February, when we have 2 events in February. Yeah, almost recognisable. That's right.
Keep it indoors.
Yeah, don't leave
Yeah,
it
keep
outside.
it indoors. Should we have it?
Okay.
No, photo. If we have it, if we can just have a photo.
Together.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, with Gordon as well.
Okay.
I've got all the stuff for the media. Put it on our web. We have a Facebook, a Twitter account. You'll be inundated.
Yeah. Tweet support to me and I will retweet it.
Yeah.
And that's George Ferguson X. Because I've got a lot of followers, some who like me and some who don't.
Okay, so as I mentioned, leaflet flyers on the table, more information about polio, and coin cards to be completed. And we end, we end in February, 21st and 22nd of February. We're laying out coins in the Mile, Cribs Causeway, and then we have a closing event in Cabot Circus on the 22nd, the day before Rotary's anniversary. Okay, so George, can we ask you to come and plant a crocus?
Yep, delighted.